Um, I have what I call a wandering right brain, which means that unless I really make every effort to stay focused, I'll often drift off or wander off to doing other things. And this is especially true when I'm writing. Um, Having said that, the result is that often these right brain wanderings become creative moments for me um, in my writing. Um, and one of the things that many of them have in common is that music is a part of that creative moment. Um, and in the last year or so, there have been uh, three um, creative moments related to music. Uh, One, the first one, and I've written about this numerous times, was when I was in what used to be called Burma, it's now called Myanmar, and I was in Yangon, the used to be the capital. Um, but I was in Yangon, and Amin Kanan, who was one of the protest leaders of the group that's trying to democratize Myanmar, invited me to a protest rally on January 4th, um, which is kind of like their Independence Day. Um, and there I was in Shula Pagoda listening to the protesters, who obviously were speaking in Burmese, um, which I know no word in Burmese. And so that was kind of in the back in the recesses of my mind. I could hear them, but I had no idea what they were saying. But the only thing that I could hear in my brain was Joan Baez singing "We Shall Overcome." I mean, that was a creative moment. It was a transformative moment for me. Um, it took me back to the 60s during the civil rights movement. Um, the second kind of creative moment uh, was in June of this past year. Um, and it was in the wake of the Charleston killings. And President Obama was going to give a eulogy for the Reverend Pinckney. And so I had the television on in the background, waiting for the president to speak. You know, it was an excellent speech. I mean, I've written about this also. It it was a well prepared and well delivered speech. And then all of a sudden, the president starts singing Amazing Grace. That was so much like what happened to me in Shula Pagoda with Joan Baez singing. You have no idea how those two songs meshed together or morphed together for me, and enabled me to write more, to be much more engaged in trying to change at least parts of the world. Um, the third time occurred just a couple weeks ago. Um, and I was writing an article. I honestly do not recall what the article I was writing. But one of the ways that I try to stay focused is to I have on the toolbar on the top of my browser a lot of YouTube, some classic, some modern music, and if I'm really want to stay focused, I don't listen to the Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. What I do is to click on Robert Schumann's Tomirai. And so I clicked on it and I started to say, come on, Camel, you have to get this article written and stay focused. And it worked. It worked so well that when YouTube ends the clip that you just clicked on, they'll give you 10 or 15 seconds to click on something else, or they will play something else for you. Half an hour, 45 minutes later, all of a sudden I wake up, from my writing, and I hear one of my favorite songs from the Broadway play Les Miserables. I have gone to loads of Broadway plays over my lifetime. I have seen Les Miserables on Broadway at least a half a dozen times. It is the greatest, in my opinion, Broadway play that I will ever see. And the song that was being played at the time was, "Do You Hear the People Sing?" Once again, the creative moment occurred due to a song. What I want you to do is, you listen to this video, what I'd like you to do is to read the article and to think about that article. We need to make some radical changes in America and also in the world to make it a better place in which to live. And strangely, at least for me, songs often are the vehicle to get the people involved in these social movements. So in the meantime, you take care, and thanks for watching this video and reading this article.